the governing New Patriotic Party has raised questions about the Economic Intelligence Unit's prediction of a John Mahama victory in the 2024 elections, well, an NDC victory. The party says, though it welcomes the prediction of the EIU, it is only hanging on the usual assumption that presidential power has been rotating over 8-year periods in the Fourth Republic. Now, the EIU report says public dissatisfaction, slow pace of improvement in governance, and corruption will leave voters with no choice but to seek change. But the NPP, in a statement, says the report's verdict on the effect of John Mahama on the party's chances gives them a major boost. Let me bring you details of that report and what it says. As far as the outlook is concerned, it says the next parliamentary and presidential elections are due in 2024. Under constitutionally mandated term limits, the incumbent president, Mr. Akufo-Addo, cannot run for a third term. The former president, John Mahama, is reportedly considering running again, but we expect the opposition NDC to try to revitalize its prospects with a fresh candidate. Our baseline forecast is that ongoing public dissatisfaction with a slow pace of improvement in governance, such as infrastructure development, job creation, and easing of corruption, will trigger anti-incumbency factors and push the electorate to seek a change. The NDC therefore stands a reasonable chance of winning the elections. The ruling party, the New Patriotic Party, will seek to limit the fallout from the coronavirus pandemic. The satisfaction over high unemployment and perceived corruption will spur sporadic unrest, but political stability will prevail on the whole. EIU expects Ghana's underlying political stability to endure over the forecast period, despite a highly acrimonious party political landscape. So those are the details of the EIU's report. The Director of Elections for the party, Evans Nimako, has been speaking to this report. He admits there are challenges, but the NPP are up to the task and will fix the issues to win the confidence of the electorate.
And I will not run away from the fact that there are some challenges in Ghana. And times have never been the same. The whole world, just as was coming from the COVID-19 pandemic, is also experiencing the fallout of the Russia-Ukraine war. And I'll be surprised if discerning and reasonable people will not be looking at these challenges and think that what Ghana is going through is mainly the making of the New Patriotic Party. For us, I can assure you, we've always said the battle is the Lord's. I know when we go into the elections in 2024, a huge majority of the Ghanaian population will be going to their polls, and they will decide the way forward for the good people of Ghana. And I can assure you that definitely the people of Ghana will vote for the New Patriotic Party once again.
One of the key issues the EIU report raises is corruption. Here's his response to that.
The issue of corruption as a country is something that we all have to come on board to address. So it has to be backed by evidence. It cannot just be word of mouth, you just pronounce it and run away with it. You have to support it. And I remember before Mr. Domino left the Auditor General, if Transparency International is raising concern, there has to be specific. We cannot just raise the perception and run away with. And I'm saying that as a government, as a party, we will do everything in our power to support the government to ensure that issues of corruption are addressed. And so today, if Dr. Opuni is in court and you are telling me the New Patriotic Party government is not pursuing an action to address corruption in Ghana, then I'm surprised. And so, yes, it has come up in the EIU report. The government has taken it, the party has taken it. We will take steps And whatever has to be done, I think that it is for all of us as Ghanaians to ensure that we address it. There's nowhere in the world that issues of corruption are not mentioned, but it's performed, it's done by human beings. But we should make it very unfavorable for people to pursue it. And I think that as a government, all that has to be done are being put in place.
But the EIU report also says the NDC stands a better chance of winning without John Mahama. But spokesperson for former President Mahama says they actually stand a brighter chance.
Despite the accuracy of some of the projections and forecasts that EIU has made, to understand exactly what they do. It's not like they've gone to conduct a poll and ask the electorate how they will vote. So this is not a scientific poll. It is essentially political risk analysis, which guides the business decisions of some investors and other businesses. So it's important to get that point. The second point is that the projection they make about the outcome of the 2024 elections is what they call a baseline forecast. So it means that their minimum expectation that no matter what happens in 2024, the NPP will be thrown out of power. So that position does not depend on the candidates that the opposition brings. I am in the NDC, and I can assure you that all things being equal, President Mahama will be on the ballot box. But because of how abysmal the NPP has been, and the vastly superior record of the NDC, the Ghanaians are going to throw them out.
But it's interesting that you premise that part of the report that this is not scientific, it's a political risk. There are those who then would say that the first part that you also agree conclusively with could also not be the case.
Well, there has no dispute about the modus operandi of the economic intelligence unit over the years. They have got some predictions right, they have got some wrong. But their predictions have never been based on scientific polling, like you find polling agencies doing. So that is a matter of fact. That
but do I find you cherry picking? Which one suits you?
The point is that there is what you can refer to as visceral gut feeling analysis. So that analysis is spot on. It is on all fours with both scientific and non-scientific forecasts that have been made. Whoever the NPP wants to bring against President Mahama, and President Mahama is streets ahead of them as far as the 2024 election outcome is concerned.
This report notwithstanding, the NDC has no plans of presenting a fresh presidential candidate. From what you say, Mr. John Dramani Mahama is the man for the next election.
Well, I think that President Mahama resonates across the rank and file of the NDC. Everybody knows that he has a stellar track record, which completely dwarfs anything the NPP has to offer. So on that premise alone, if you have a candidate who has a proven track record, has performed before in the position that he is seeking, and who has performed creditably in a just ended elections, you don't waste time and resources going to reinvent the wheel.
Okay.
When you can only correct whatever slippages occurred in the previous elections in order to present a more formidable front. So I think that from even a purely common sense standpoint, it does not make sense to go and change a candidate who did so well.
Well, let's go on to the phone lines now and speak to political science lecturer at the University of Ghana, Dr. Asa Asante. Thank you very much, sir, for your time here on Joy News Prime. I'm sure you followed the EIU report for some time now. First of all, as a political watcher yourself, what do you make of the prediction this time round?
Good evening. Good evening to your viewers. I think this is not the first time we are getting a report from the intelligence organization. Over the years, some of their predictions have come through, others we have seen difficulties and all that. But for me, it is a credible organization that anytime they churn something out, we can't gloss over it at all. It is food for thought, and it gives us a serious indication as to what parties must do. All right. If you look at the report critically, it gives you an idea as to what the election will be when comes 2020. That the NDC is likely to carry the day. Yes, they made that prediction, but what it means is that then the two parties, which are the giant parties, must work very well in order to make this prediction a reality or not. If you take NDC, for instance, I'm not sure they are going to just wait and see for the results to happen in their way. No, they are going to work and make sure that what the EIU report predicts comes to light. Of course, the NPP is not also going to sit down for what they have said to go against them. So we are going to see real work, real action, and then we see at the end of the day what will pan out.
Now,
but
the EIU report...
It is interesting to note that some of the factors that determine voter choices in this country has been harped on. Take, for instance, the issue of infrastructure development. It's the second variable that voters consider when they are voting in this country. So if the government is not going to pay attention, they will have their fingers bent, strictly speaking. If you look at the issue of corruption, it's the third variable that Ghanaians consider when they vote in this country. If you look at the Transparency International report, right from 2013, when Mahama took office, and up to the time Mahama left office, compare that one to when Nana took office 2017 and when he left office in 2020. The summary of it is that NDC managed corruption far better than the NPP, and the results are there and the records are there for the world to see. So
now, on the outlook of the 2024 election, the EIU report is certain about one thing: an NDC victory. The thorny issue here is the John Mahama ticket. Some members we've spoken to from the NDC say he's the most marketable candidate and also the man with the resources to lead the party. Is that reason enough to stick with him when the prediction says if you do away with him, your chances are brighter?
That one, I have a problem with that, because if you are a political watcher and you follow the party's activity closely and their research and all that, it points to the fact that Mahama is overwhelmingly, accepted by the people, that all the candidates that contested the last election. And then I have no doubt in my mind that any candidate that you bring, Mahama is going to beat him. Even though I've not gone to the field to pick data, but it is clear from data we have chanced upon and analysis that we have studied and all that. Why am I saying that? Apart from the reports that some of us have seen and all that and research, we can also say that election is nothing but contest of ideas and referendum of your work. Which work are you going to stand on to campaign for votes within the NDC if it's not that of Rawlings or that of President Mills or that of Mahama? And if you are going to contest with Mahama, then it's a daunting task for that individual. I have no doubt in my mind that, yes, even though, to be fair to the party, we don't know those who will merge as, contestants for the next NDC internal party election candidates. But I have no doubt in my mind that Mahama will stand tall.
And just finally, Doc, even though you talk about Mahama and his chances with the party, isn't this outlook also dependent on whom the NPP, for instance, settles on as flag bearer?
Come again, please.
I'm saying that isn't the personality of the NPP's flag bearer eventually also going to influence the chances that the NDC and John Mahama would have in the 2024 elections?
Oh, definitely so. But, I'm sure Mahama is ready for any candidate that emerges from the NPP circles and that you will be able to contest with that person head on. Let us remember that he has contested election before and he knows what to do. So he's a good candidate. He has all that it takes to contest whoever emerges from any quarter. So let us... Hello?
Yes, sir. I'm listening.
Yeah, let us get that straight, that he is not a pushover. Look at the last election. He almost won the election. Who gave him dog chance? Nobody. But you saw the vote that he pulled. He's a force to reckon within the NDC. There is no doubt about it. So, for me, it's going to be an interesting election. But, of course, the NPP is also not going to sit down for this report to come to light, given what the report says. So,
and they have indicated so.
They need to stop the jostling within the parties and work. And then save the party and move away from rhetorics and all the promises that they make. This is the time to actualize them. Otherwise, it becomes failed promise. And
Very well. I'm grateful for your time, Dr. Kwame Asante there. He's a political science lecturer at the University of Ghana. And